Hi, Matt here from Virtual Boys. I wanted to do something a little different today and talk about a place that you have to visit. You've got to go. I spent the day there today and just had an absolute blast. If you live in the UK or if you're visiting the UK, you have to go to Arcade Club. Arcade Club, it bills itself as Europe's biggest arcade. And I guess that depends how you define biggest. If it's by most machines, I reckon they might have it. Maybe not by floor space, but this place is amazing. It's in Bury, which is about 10 miles north of Manchester. So it's kind of in the north of the country. It's awesome. This place, it's £10 for completely unlimited access to their main room. So every machine there is on free play. You can play as much as you like, play as many machines as you like. Just £10 for the whole day. There's no time limit on that. This isn't £10 for an hour. £10 for your whole day. You can also pay an extra £5 if you're an adult. If you're over 18, you can pay an extra £5, so £15 total, for access to their second room, which is full of VR machines, PCs, and kind of more complex games that they obviously don't want kids smashing up and breaking. So you've got loads of like rhythm games there, like Taiko no Tatsujin, Jubi, the Rhythm Tengoku arcade machine, loads of dancing games, and then like PCs and consoles and things like that. So if you want to go for the full whammy, it's £15, you get access to both rooms, or you can just pay £10 and just get access to the main room, which is full of all classic arcade machines. So I don't know where to start with Arcade Club. It's just, there's so much to talk about. It's crammed full of machines. Every style, no matter what style you're into or what games you've played throughout your life, you're going to find something here that you recognise or that you want to play. So one of the things that I absolutely love about Arcade Club is that the vast majority of the machines are original machines with their original artwork and the original joysticks and buttons. They're not generic MAME cabinets. You know, I've visited a lot of arcades around the world, and often you'll find just a generic machine that's got MAME loaded into it, and it's got like all the Neo Geo games or all the Capcom games or whatever. A lot of these, I mean, they're restored, obviously, because they're being used by the public, so they're getting knackered, but yeah, they're original machines. So you can look at these machines like the Gauntlet machine or the Simpsons machine or the Ghostbusters machine. I mean, I could just keep listing them. And they've got all the original artwork, and it's so cool, almost like as a museum thing. You know, never mind playing these machines, just to walk around and look at the machines. Things that I haven't seen for like 25 years since I was a kid. Or things you've seen online that you've never actually seen with your own eyes. It's fascinating. Another thing I love about Arcade Club, and I suppose arcades in general, is that you're playing games here that you can't emulate at home. Like, anybody can run MAME on their computer, or, you know, they can run a Raspberry Pi, and they can play a lot of these classic games on their TV at home. But there's experiences in arcades that you can't emulate in your home. So things like gun games, so House of the Dead, Point Blank, Time Crisis, Operation Wolf, things like that, they don't work on plasma screens and LCD displays. The hardware and the technology in them requires an old CRT tube display. So you know, I can plug in my Sega Saturn with House of the Dead and it won't work on my plasma screen. The gun just doesn't work. So you can go to an arcade, specifically somewhere like Arcade Club, and yeah, you can play House of the Dead 2, you can play Point Blank 2, you can play Time Crisis 1, 2 and 3. I can't do that at home. That's awesome. And then you've got things like racing games with proper wheels and pedals. You know the full machines. You sit in the car seat and you race with the proper wheel. Again, Ridge Racer, Sega Rally. I can play those on my PlayStation and my Sega Saturn at home. But even with the Saturn steering wheel that I've got, it's not the same. It doesn't have the force feedback and the resistance and the proper pedals and the music blaring out the speakers in the seat. It's just an experience that, well, I guess, unless you spend a lot of money, you can't really experience that at home. And Arcade Club is full of Japanese arcade games, so things that you won't find on your home console and you won't find in an arcade, you know, in Scarborough or in Skegness. So, you know, they've got a full Taiko no Tatsujin machine, they've got Poppin' Music Party, they've got, if you've ever seen the table flipping game, Cho Chabadai Gaishi, it's a game that you must have seen it online. It's just a massive table, and you wait for the perfect time when your character's as frustrated as possible, and then you're literally flipping a massive table and sending stuff flying. It's brilliant. You're not playing that at home. They've got Initial D Arcade Stage, which is just, unless you're flying out to Japan, you're probably not going to see it anywhere else in the UK. And then, of course, you've got all these classic games on classic CRT screens, which it may sound like a small thing if you haven't experienced it. But I play a lot of MAME at home. I play a lot of fighting games. So Street Fighter, I play Street Fighter 3, I play Street Fighter 2, I play all the Neo Geo fighting games. And, I'm playing those emulated on my Plasma at home through my PC, and they look great, and they're emulated very, very well. They're the arcade games running arcade perfect on my PC. But there's something about seeing them on a real display, and seeing all those little pixels on a curved screen. You don't have to fake the scan lines, and you don't have to fake the blur. It's there on the screen. It's how I remember it from when I was a kid. It's brilliant. It's perfect. So as I said, all the machines at Arcade Club are free play. You pay your £10 or your £15 to get in, and you can play as much as you like. And that's totally brilliant. There is part of me that wishes that some of the machines were limited to how many credits you could use, because you can stand in front of something like the Simpsons machine or the I've finished the whole Michael Jackson's Moonwalker arcade game there, and there's kind of no challenge because you've got unlimited credits. You just put in as many credits as you want, and it does lose something a little bit, because of course arcade machines were designed based on the limitation of the amount of lives. Well, I guess the limitation could only be broken by how much money you had. But here you're just hammering in as many credits as you want. It's cool because you get to see through these arcade games that you maybe couldn't when you were a kid. You can get past the hard stuff now because you can die as many times as you want. But it does take something out of it. I feel like the owners of Arcade Club have got this genuine love for the format. This isn't just a business where they've just chucked in a load of modern arcade machines or classic arcade machines, and there's just the popular things there that they know that people recognise. It's full of interesting machines, and they're all restored beautifully. And every time I go, there's a different setup. So they'll move machines around, they'll take machines out, they'll put new ones in. It's a surprise every time I visit. And inevitably you'll go sometimes and something won't be working correctly. One of the screens will be slightly damaged or a joystick isn't working. And you'll go next time and it'll be fixed. Or as fixed as possible. And I just love it. I had a little peer as I walked past when I visited today. I saw the little storeroom where they just had stacks and stacks of machines, and it was obviously their little workshop where they're fixing stuff up. And it made me so excited. So what else they've got there? They've got bars with food and drink. So in the second room that's the VR and PC and rhythm games room, there's alcohol there if you want to drink. It's like a proper stocked bar. They serve hot food. There's soft drinks for kids. And in the bar where there's all the food, they've just got loads of other machines set up. You can't turn anywhere in this place without finding pinball machines, arcade machines, or PCs. So in the main room bar where they sell burgers and stuff for kids, they've got this whole massive setup of PCs running Minecraft, and it was obviously full. I mean, what kid doesn't love Minecraft? But they've got this schedule on the wall of what times they run big Minecraft tournaments and stuff. And then you turn to your right, and there's three pinball machines. You've got the Addams Family machine, and you've got the Twilight Zone pinball machine. And these are really well-known and well-loved pinball machines, restored amazingly well and just free to play again. And then upstairs in the adults-only room, you've got this whole suite of amazing gaming PCs. And they had the most ridiculous PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds setup I've ever seen, with this huge curved display. I don't know what aspect ratio it was, but I feel like I've seen 21:9 screens before, and this was stupid. Somebody tell me in the comments what this screen is, because maybe it is just 21:9 and I'm over-egging it. But it was amazing. It was massive, and it was the widest thing in the world. It was just crazy to play PUBG on something like this. I loved it. And then they've got their setup of VR headsets. So they had a PlayStation VR headset there. Someone was playing Resident Evil 7. They had a Vive. Saw people playing on the Vive. And it wasn't that busy. I mean, no, it was busy. That's wrong. I went on a Sunday, and it was full. But there's so much stuff there that you don't have to wait. If you just stand next to a machine, you're going to be the next one playing it. There's so many machines in there and so much to do. It's just awesome. They also run events at Arcade Club. So I've seen they've got gig listings for bands that play video game music and stuff, which sounds awesome to me. I really want to go to one of those. And they'll also stream Evo. So whenever there's fighting game tournaments on Evo or the Overwatch League and things, they'll stream them. and they'll have people come down and, you can have some drinks or whatever. And they'll also host big tournaments. So I know they've hosted Tekken tournaments before and other fighting game tournaments. And it's perfect. They've got the setup there. If it was just a little bit closer to where I live, it takes me about 2 hours to drive there, I'd be there all the time. I'd be there every Friday, Saturday night. I mean, it's open till 10 p.m. on a Friday and Saturday. I'd just go with my mates. Like, there's a bar, there's food, there's arcade machines. It sounds amazing. So very quickly, just to list some of the machines that I played when I went today. They've got a load of fighting game machines. They had things like Street Fighter 3, I saw Hyper Street Fighter 2, I saw Street Fighter EX, I saw a Tekken Tag Tournament, I played some Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat, I played the first Killer Instinct game, Soul Calibur, which I'd forgotten what Soul Calibur looks like in the arcades. It looks very, very different to the Dreamcast game. Makes you really kind of appreciate the work they did on the Dreamcast version. But yeah, the arcade version of it's incredible. They've got just tons and tons of like the real classics, going right back to things like Space Invaders and Asteroids and Robotron, and they had this beautiful Punch-Out machine with all the artwork on it and things. Oh, it was so amazing. And they've got the classic Star Wars machine. They've got things like Wonder Boy. They've got the old Simpsons machine, the old Turtles machine. Oh God, what else did I play? We played a lot of gun games because, as I was saying earlier, that's the thing you can't do at home. So I played a lot of Point Blank and a lot of Time Crisis. Oh, just so much. Played a lot of racing games. So I played Ridge Racer, I played Daytona, played Sega Rally, 18-Wheeler, Crazy Taxi. If you can't tell, I just had the best time. So yeah, this video is not endorsed by Arcade Club at all. I snuck around with my camera all day, trying not to get in people's ways and trying not to film people's children because that's weird. And I just did it because I love it. This is probably the 4th or 5th time I've been. I'll probably try and go like twice a year. As I said, it's about 2 hours drive for me, so it's a little bit far. But it is open late, so I didn't get there till 3 p.m. today, but it's open till 8 on a Sunday. So even if I don't leave home till midday, I can still make it there and have a good few hours. So yeah, I'll probably try and make it twice a year. And I just can't recommend it enough. For 10 quid, for a full day of just free play on all these classic things, it's just unbeatable. I love it. There's something really special about arcades, and we're missing that. It's something I loved when I was a kid. And we don't really have them in the UK anymore. You'll get the crap arcades at the seaside that have just got a bunch of they're full of mobile phone ports now. I don't know if you've seen this, but you go and it's like Flappy Bird arcade machine and the Angry Birds arcade machine, and it's weird. But to go somewhere like Arcade Club that's full of all the classics that I remember from a kid, classics that I missed because I wasn't old enough, and then current things like all the new Japanese games that we just don't see here. It's absolutely brilliant. If you've ever been into an arcade in Japan and you've seen the amount of floors they have and the amount of machines and the love there that people have for the machines, it's like having a little taste of that, but 10 miles north of Manchester. It's brilliant. If you live in the UK or if you visit in the UK, I cannot recommend it enough. You should definitely make some time to go. And maybe you'll see me there because I'm definitely going to go again. So thank you again for joining me for a very enthusiastic episode of Virtual Boys. Let's play some classic games soon, and I'll see you then. All right, bye.